Page 82, Turkey in the Straw, Variation 2, and Ending. As usual, we saved the most difficult part of a tune for last. This tune has a lot of position shifts in it, some unusual barring situations and higher notes in the stratosphere, all sorts of things. So let me start by pointing out the first trouble spots. The first one of these would be the end of the second measure, where you are going into your 9-10 position. The last two notes of the second measure are, easy enough so far. Now here your ring finger has to shift slightly, bar just 2 strings at the 12th fret. So let me play that little piece. Last 2 notes of the second measure into the next measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's the first note of the 4th measure. One more time on that. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And that occurs on the next line in almost the same spot. And then it occurs again on the 3rd line in almost the same spot. So once you have it down in the one place, you have not only 3 lines of it down, but 4 lines it occurs. So once you learn that lick, it's a recurring thing every 3rd measure on each line. I should also point out with the A part, there's no repeat of A in that each repeat of A is built in, so you don't repeat back. However, the B part does repeat twice. This is where it takes you to the stratosphere, starting with a bar at your 12th fret. But here I just bar the 2 strings, 2nd and 1st, for smoothness of operation. So let me pick through measure 17 and 18. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So all that's done with that bar 12 held down just on the 2 strings. Now you stay in that position basically. Bring in your middle finger on 2nd string 13, ring finger on 1st string 14. The picking pattern is pretty much the same as measure 17, but here we are now on this is a high 2-note C chord. This is measure 19. I'll count it off. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next measure, stop on that 1st string 14, just shift your ring finger up to 16, and then on measure 21 you're shifting the ring 1 more fret to 17, and there's all that business. Now let me start again from measure 17, play right through the end of the line. Bar 12, top 2 strings, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And there's your first note on the next line, measure 21. Now let me pick it up at measure 21. Let me talk through it slowly first. Measure 21, you stay on that 17th fret for 2 strikes with the 5th string open in between. Now we shift back to the 12th fret, this time barring with index finger. And then we shift again to the 9-10 position. Shift again to a bar at 7th fret, with index finger in this case. And then this is a similar lick to what I showed you early on, where you're in the 9-10 position. Bring your ring finger to get that 12th fret, back to the 9-10 position. And now the 7th fret bar, picking through that, ending up at open strings and an open pinch. Okay, so now we will play the B part slowly with the repeat together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Repeat. Now, I'll just run through the ending here, measure 25 to the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and since I really put this under the microscope, I have made the executive decision to move the actual playing of this page 82 to the next track. So make sure you get this track down well before trying the whole thing. Coming up on the next track, Turkey in the Straw, Variation 2.